Expensive yachts, extravagant cars, and a golden palace are just some of the common properties that a wealthy individual could possess. Join us as we get to know more about this crown prince from Saudi Arabia and discover inside the 2.4 trillion life of Mohammed bin Salman. Gone are the times of knights, palaces, and canals. Sadly, as species, we've commonly moved past the times of outright governments and strong aristocrats. However, we surrendered all that for exhausting stuff, similar to constitutions and republics, yet not all over the place. A few nations have palaces, their knights, and their rulers, some of which have even acquired big-name status all over the planet. We as a whole have some familiarity with Queen Elizabeth and Prince Harold. This time, however, we'll be taking a gander at an alternate well-known and smelling rich ruler, Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud. Indeed, see what it resembles being the Saudi ruler, what he spends his immense ceaseless abundance on, and if he's the sort of fellow you need at your gatherings. Mohammed bin Salman is a crown sovereign, agent prime endlessly clergyman of protection of Saudi Arabia. He was brought into the world on August 31, 1985 in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. After going to King Saud University, he functioned as his dad's very own guide and was selected likely as a successor of the crown sovereign of Saudi Arabia in 2017, a title that should look truly cool on a driver's permit. Although I have an undeniable strong inclination he hasn't driven himself anyplace in some time. Discussing which, MBS isn't only known for being an imperial worth in a real sense billions of dollars. He's likewise known for spending it as well. He has a wide exhibit of interests and adventures. He jumps at the chance to channel the pleasant, smooth oil cash into one which incorporates logically bigger extravagance vehicles. Oil cash and extravagance vehicles are an ancient combo. On the off chance that you haven't seen rich rulers doing donuts in the desert, then I have one question for you. How weighty is that rock you've been living under? Mohammed bin Salman isn't simply some rich sovereign. However, he's the public substance of the place of Saud, the Saudi imperial family with an aggregate total assets of around $2 trillion, and these Saudi rulers don't buy extravagance vehicles. They transform extravagance vehicles into retrospectives. When it's all said and done, Prince Al-Talal bin Abdulaziz in a real sense claims a jewel-covered Mercedes. Purchasing an extravagant vehicle probably won't be a simple accomplishment. However, it is possible an MBS isn't going to be outshone by some backwater mogul. Thus, he didn't simply get one crazy vehicle. He felt free to buy an entire armada of insane vehicles, including his modified gold Lamborghini Aventador SVJ worth $7.5 million, his gold Rolls-Royce Ghost car was worth $8 million, and his Bugatti Veyron stupendous games, which he speculated are likewise gold, worth $12.5 million. This Bugatti probably won't be MBS #1 vehicle from his assortment. However, it sure is mine. Among the most uncommon current vehicles around this, Bugatti is one of the quickest road lawful vehicles on the planet with a maximum velocity of 450 kilometers each hour. This vehicle can run into me quickly. MBS doesn't simply cruise all over in style, all things considered. In any event, when he's in the sea, you won't get him encircled by everything except the pinnacle of extravagance. That is the reason he felt free to get himself a 440-foot, $500 million yacht called the Peaceful. So here we have a yacht sufficiently extravagant to have gotten the eyes of a Saudi regal. Why is it then so extraordinary? Indeed, for one's purposes, it was constructed and planned by probably the greatest names in the monstrous extravagance boat game. Fincantieri and Raymond Langton's configuration restricted the name of a couple that met up to create this child. The boat has a complete length of 440 feet, spread across 7 decks, and can oblige up to 24 visitors and 12 lodges with private decks, with a sum of 52 team individuals remembering the skipper for 30 lodges. On the off chance that you don't have the foggiest idea of what I'm talking about, it's that the serene region is damn enormous. The Peaceful accompanies 2 helipads, one of which can be transformed into a dance floor or a pool. Assuming the party gets that insane, there are different pools too on the yacht. Spas, a snow room, and a steam room. Have to be prepared for any climate, all things considered, but the yacht has sufficient extra room for an enormous submarine. You could have gotten on it at this point, yet there's a narrative that this boat costs $500 million and learn to expect the unexpected. We're not even finished. The Serene offers a few spaces devoted to youngsters, incorporating a den with a climbing wall and a diversion place with the most recent computer game control center. Being the proprietor of this behemoth, MBS has a full deck all to himself. It accompanies a confidential lift taking him from the stateroom to his confidential rooms. He likewise gets a confidential swim stage liberated from worker pollution, a California king bed, a stroll in a dressing room, and a sizable restroom. Prepare to have your mind blown. The Serene is in the main yacht claimed by Mohammed Bin Salman. I didn't call him a connoisseur for anything. He is likewise the glad proprietor of a $120 million super yacht. Not exactly as crazy as a Tranquil, yet this 260-foot vessel, named the PEGASUS VIII, absolutely does its fair share. That is to say, $120 million are $120 million beyond what I can pay to buy a yacht. So what does this yacht bring to the table for such a heavy sticker price? Indeed, it flaunts everything from a 13-seat film to a helipad that serves as a golf driving reach. It has a dry dock that can be overflowed to make a 40-foot pool and a jacuzzi. Since we can't just be real for a minute, the sea is cool, however, it isn't so enjoyable to swim in. The yacht can take up to 12 guests and 26 group individuals and accompanies a lot of ways of engaging anybody sufficiently fortunate to be in the sea with Mohammed Bin Salman. The yacht accompanies a party deck total with 2 bars, a stupendous piano, a grill, and a dance floor. Gracious, what's more, a 1,000 bottle tequila dealer. Assuming anyone twists up over the edge, this is likely why. Other than his affection for yachts, the sovereign has an affection for workmanship too. 2 leisure activities that surprisingly cross. In 2017, a unique artwork by Leonardo da Vinci called Salvator Mundi was bought for $450 million. Being a 500-year-old composition from Da Vinci, it didn't sell modestly, making it the most costly work of art on the planet, and it turns out the canvas was bought by, in all honesty, MBS himself. Rumors from far and wide suggest that a similar work of art presently balances in the corridor of one MBS's Uber yachts. It very well may be on the Tranquil, or it very well may be on the Pegasus. No one knows. Fingers crossed it gets no water harm. Presently, assuming that you thought briefly that Mohammed Bin Salman likes to gather just vehicles and boats, then I'm sorry to dishearten. He likewise has a weakness of a gigantic properties too. Don't we as a whole? MBS felt free to do what any of us hoping to invest some energy abroad did. He got himself a $300 million French house. In 2015, Mohammed Bin Salman purchased the house of Louis XIV in the west of Paris for around $300 million, and it was named the world's generally costly home. To the unaided eye, this rich design seems to be something that probably has been inherent in the 17th hundred years with its gold-leafed wallspring, marble sculptures, and a maze of fences. In any case, looks can misdirect. It's loaded up with, I'd say, $200 or $300 million worth of 21st century innovation, which incorporates yet isn't restricted to a sound framework, lights, cooling, and well springs generally controlled from a distance by your iPhone. My heart goes out to my kindred Android users. So what might a 57 section of land, 10-room home at any point offer draw the consideration of the crown ruler of Saudi Arabia, as well as Kim Kardashian, who momentarily thought about it as a scene for her wedding to Kanye West? Bit random trivia for you, property geeks in the crowd. Well, like many first-in-class properties out there, it has the typical twists. It is an incredibly improved indoor pool. We're talking mosaic tiling and crystal fixtures all the way. There's a theater and a wine basement. A blend brought into the world from the sky, and what Sovereign's Palace is finished without a channel. This channel anyway isn't loaded up with crocodiles. It's loaded up with sturgeon and lovely koi fish. I'd have gone for the sharks, however, yet canals aren't what they used to be any longer. The estates and sides are covered with marble from floor to roof, wowing anybody sufficiently fortunate to come around there. Before the mystery administration gets to you, that is assuming you're welcome in, however, you'll get to see the astounding dance hall and the underground club. This house was used for a wide range of gatherings. Being the crown sovereign of the Saudi royal family, he's engaged in the country's many endeavors. As far as one may be concerned, he administers the state-possessed oil organization called Saudi Aramco, perhaps the most important organization in the whole world, worth around $2 trillion. If you are wondering why is the Saudi royal family worth such an extent, it could have something to do with that. MBS may be leading the incomparable leading group of Aramco and supervising the organization straightforwardly, yet that doesn't mean he burns through the entirety of his business sharpness overseeing fluid gold. He has an interest in different undertakings, one of which includes the widely adored hobby, football. It would seem when you control trillions of dollars, buying a football club isn't exactly pretty much as hard as you suspect. Effectively bought, England's new palace joined the soccer group in late 2021. Following a year and a half of extended debates, the acquisition was for a detailed $409 million, giving the Saudi consortium 80 possessions. This acquisition was unveiled by Saudi Arabia's Venture Store, which is a state investment account for the Saudi government. It makes the greater part of its cash from oil, who could have imagined, and has its hands in the organizations from one side of the planet to the other, from Disney to Starbucks, which are all constrained by the public speculation as its director crown ruler, Mohammed Bin Salman. No lounging around and allowing the counselors to accomplish the work for this official. Being eminent, you could figure the crown ruler should have a muddled relationship with his loved ones. That is not guaranteed to be valid. He's unbelievably close with his family. When King Salman bin Abdulaziz in the end passes on, MBS is positioned to assume control over the lofty position, making him the most youthful ruler in Saudi Arabia's set of experiences. King Salman is now 85 years of age, and MBS is broadly perceived as the ongoing underlying influencer. Have things been set up for an exhausting episode of A Round of Lofty Positions or an intriguing episode of Two Doors? The truth will surface at some point. So what is your take on Mohammed bin Salman? Is it true or not that he is your new most loved ruler? If you appreciated this video, kindly leave us a like and let us know in the comments section below.